Today we are going to talk about the differences between a manual toothbrush and an electric toothbrush. Majority of the people are very conversant with the ordinary toothbrush that we use. Many times when I'm walking around in the supermarket, I am very keen to walk around the dental section. And what I normally see, I see people with a trolley, and then when they reach where the toothbrushes are, they just pick and drop, pick and drop, pick and drop. And they actually don't lead what is there on the toothbrushes. I want to say that manual toothbrushes come in 3 different textures: hard, medium, and soft. And that texture is not written on the toothbrush, but rather it is written on the package. So immediately you open the toothbrush and throw away the package, then you actually don't know whether you bought a soft, a medium, and a hard toothbrush. And what you find largely on the supermarket shelves is that you have largely more medium and even hard toothbrush. When you want to look for a soft toothbrush, sometimes you really have to keenly look for it and get it. For toothbrushes, the brand sometimes does not really matter so much. Although toothbrushes, the cost, the slightly expensive it is, usually the better sometimes it is. Very cheap toothbrushes for 30 shillings, 50 shillings, that would not be a toothbrush I would recommend so much for the person who really takes care of their teeth. So we have used the manual toothbrushes for long, but increasingly we are finding, because people are buying hard and medium toothbrushes, which are very hard, we are coming with a lot of dental issues, specifically what we call toothbrush abrasion cavities. It's cavities near the neck of the gum, near the neck of the tooth. Right there, you find people have developed cavities there. Then in using a medium or hard toothbrush, as you're brushing, you tend to force the gum and push the gum up. So we have also gum recession as a result of using hard and medium sometimes toothbrushes. And of course, sometimes people use a lot of force to brush their teeth. And that also end up causing the abrasion cavities. In fact, we normally recommend when you're brushing your teeth, you should use a pen grip force. But what I find majority of the people use hammer grip force to brush their teeth like that, and they're brushing like this. Fine, the teeth feels very clean after that. But after a few years, you walk into the dental office and the gums have been pushed all the way up, and then you have all these abrasion cavities everywhere. It's a big problem right now because of the dental awareness. So people are find they're brushing well and probably 2 times a day, but then they're not checking. So we recommend that when you go to the supermarket to buy a toothbrush, kindly check the texture. What is it? Is it hard, soft, or medium? Right now, we recommend using a soft toothbrush. And then when you go to brush, use a pen grip force, and rather than go back and forth, try to go more in a circular motion. The manual toothbrushes, of course, they are good because they are relatively affordable and they are relatively cheap for the average population. So there is no way we are going to do away with the ordinary toothbrushes. But because of all these side effects we are getting, we are increasingly now shifting and recommending the use of electric toothbrush. Why electric toothbrush? One, the electric toothbrush, they are relatively soft, coming from the factory. And then the amount of force on your teeth is determined in the factory. So it's not your hand that is going to actually damage your teeth. And then the electric toothbrush, most of them tend to go in a circular motion, just the way we recommend with the manual one, that you brush in a circular motion. So the electric toothbrush, research now shows that the electric toothbrush is more superior than the manual toothbrush, both in effectiveness of brushing and also the damage that is caused on the teeth by abrasion of the other toothbrush. So we are increasingly now recommending the use of electric toothbrush for people who can afford it. Of course, the electric toothbrush is a little more expensive, but it is like a one-off investment, because once you invest in a good electric toothbrush, you'll only be buying the heads. You don't buy the motor. You can stay for, these motors can last 5-10 years. So you'll only be buying the replacement heads once you do that. And then once you get to use the electric toothbrush. Just like the manual one, you start somewhere in the mouth, but in this case, you are not brushing. You are simply just directing and moving it around. So you are moving it around each and every tooth. And even places which are very difficult to brush with your manual toothbrushes, you find the electric toothbrush is able to reach those places very nicely on the inside where you can't brush nicely. And especially someone who may have a bit of crowded teeth, then this comes also very, very effective. And that's why we are actually recommending the use of electric toothbrushes. The differences we've seen, cost is an issue, cost is a big difference, but when it comes to effectiveness and superiority, then the electric toothbrush is the way to go. Once you get used to using the electric toothbrush, you'll probably be using your manual toothbrush once in a very long while. The other thing is that the manual toothbrush, normally you need to replace it every probably 2 months or so. Whereas for the electric toothbrush, the head, I see it lasting even 6 months or even more. So you don't have to replace this as often as you need to replace the manual toothbrush.